these are my top 5 tips for obtaining a mortgage. Top tip number 1, doing your homework. Speak to a mortgage broker or a financial advisor and get as much information as possible about getting a mortgage and the costs involved. Also be aware of the hidden costs that you didn't factor in. And have a check about the type of property which you want to buy and make sure that it's going to be acceptable to a lender, as you might love modernist concrete architecture, but a lender may not and might decline your application. Top tip number 2, be prepared. So you may have seen a mortgage broker, started looking at properties and think that a purchase will happen imminently. But sometimes the purchase doesn't happen so quickly and it may be months or even years before it happens. So in the meantime, make sure that all of your paperwork is up to date. Make sure that your bank statements are up to date, that you have all of your pay slips, and if you move home whilst looking for a property, make sure that you're on the electoral roll. Top tip number 3, prepare a monthly budget and see how much you can afford. It's a very good idea to start a monthly budget planner and see how much disposable income you have each month. You might be surprised also that all those unforeseen expenses like coffees and magazines will eat into your monthly disposable income. It's important to make sure that the mortgage is affordable not just now but also later, because the rate that you see, the initial rate might be super low, but you might find later on that actually ends up rising and the mortgage becomes unaffordable later. Top tip number 4, when looking at the advertised rate, look at all the costs involved, for example, the valuation fee, the arrangement fee, the solicitor's fees, and even moving costs. You should also factor in insurance as well, because should the worst happen, you want to make sure that your family can continue to pay for the mortgage and live inside the home. Top tip number 5, the bigger, the better. The bigger the deposit, the better the mortgage rate. Typically, lenders will charge a higher rate for those who use a lesser deposit to try and put down as much money as possible. Lenders will also allow you to use a gift from family to put towards your deposit, so the advice would be try to beg, borrow but don't steal, and use as much money as possible to buy your home.